Connect Point Resolution Systems is very excited to bring you the newest version of its software, AssureCalc 2.4. In this section, I will highlight the new features of AssureCalc 2.4. The first feature is what we call autocomplete, and here you can see that the autocomplete is on. In the old section, you would have to click once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and 9 times to complete this face. In the new version, you have to click twice. Click once and click twice, and the face is completed. You can see the value in time savings here when you have 7 or 8 faces that connect with other faces, and you don't have to go back and repeat those points once you have been there. Now, in some cases, when you have 1 and 2 stories, it might not be to your advantage for the autocomplete to be on when you want to try to connect a point. So just push the shift key and the autocomplete will go off, and as long as you hold the shift key down, then you can make points and the autocomplete will not work. So you can leave it on, which I would recommend, and then just turn it off in certain instances. The next thing that is tremendous time savings is what we call the auto ID of the roof lines. It is right here on this icon. We call this the magic wand because all you have to do is click and the lines will identify themselves. Now, I want to warn you that this is a fairly simple roof, and you can see that it did 100% of the lines. In some roofs that are very cut up, it is very difficult to write rules for every single roof line instance, and so I would call this 95% in some cases. I would suggest that you, if you have butt-up lines, to identify them first. It will not override any line that you have identified first. Your line should be square. If you get some perimeter lines that are not good and square, then it may give it some problems with the auto line ID also. But this is a great feature, and it will help you a lot, I think. Another feature that will really help you a lot is using the oblique images. Go to View, click on View, and go down to the bottom and click on Oblique. And what happens is we have 4 views of this house from the north, and you can use your wheel to bring this picture up and you can move it around. The south, the east, and the west. Now, not all obliques are all very clear, but they will give you a different perspective on the roof and allow you to see some faces and some shadows that you normally couldn't see. The next feature is the ability to join or split roof lines. We'll move to a different, it's the same image, but we're at a different point. Let's say that I missed this point right here. There's a ridge right here, and I missed that, and I don't want to have to delete the face and go back and redo it. So what I do is I click on the line, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to the bottom where it says split line, and then I'm going to take this point, hold down the left button, and I'm just going to move it over, and now I have created an extra point. And so in some real cut up roofs, sometimes you'll see that you missed a point, so this will allow you to do that. Now let's say that you draw an extra point that you don't need. Sometimes when you have different situations and you look up and you drew a point and I don't need that point, so I don't want to have to go back and redo the face. So what you can do is click on this point, and this is just really reverses what we did. Right click, click join lines, and that point will be eliminated, and it joins this point to this point, eliminating that point. So this is a time saver also. Now you also notice we have added undo buttons and redo buttons. So now if I click here, you will see that I'll redo what I just changed, and it will go back one more time, and we can go forward and go back to where we were. So the undo and redo feature is something that I think will be very handy. It is also possible to view the pitch on each face. And if you'll go down to visible layers at the bottom and click on face pitch, now that we have 612, which is the pitch right here, and we can put this on every face. So when you have faces, a roof with multiple pitches, then we're able to denote each particular pitch on each face. Another feature is printing what you see on the diagram. If I add face labels in face area, and let's say the rich and hip length, in the old version you had to go in and you had to go to print configuration and you had to click all these things and make that happen. But if you have the screen option, what you see is what you get, then you don't have to go in to this and configure it to show in your printout what you want. Now I will say that on pages you still have to tell it what pages that you want it to print. But in terms of the annotations, and the visible layers, then all of these things, if you put them on there and you see them, then they will print if you have that box checked. We also have the ability to add a corporate logo for printouts. Go to Edit and click on Preferences. And on the right side it says, where the pointer is, it says Corporate Logo. Click and it says use a second corporate logo. And what you do is you click on this, and this allows you to choose this, and so you just double click on it, and that will allow this to show up, and click OK. And then when we go to print preview, and it's generating a print preview right now, and you'll notice that you will see these things on the print preview. And now what we have is we have connect point here, we have your corporate logo, and then notice that the things that we had clicked are what we see on our screen. So this is a nice new feature, and it allows you to customize your printouts for your customers. We also have a seamless transition between sketch and annotate. When you were in annotate, you could only get rid of annotations by deleting them if you were in annotate. But it does not matter if you're in sketch or annotate. You can use either thing seamlessly without having to make sure that you're in annotate to delete an annotation like a gutter or a direction arrow or something like that. I would also like to point out that the help contents is we basically have an online manual, and you are able to click down through here and specifically go to all the areas and uses of the software. And if you're a person that likes to read rather than view the videos, then we have everything written out in fairly minute details, so that will allow you to go in and check and refresh yourself on certain areas if you need to. Once more, we're very excited about this. I think you can see the value in all the additions that we have made. However, if you do have any questions, be sure to call our support line, and we will try to talk you through any problems that you might have.